Good evening, students. So today's topic is all about method overloading. Now, what is the concept of a method overloading? Let's look at this example first. Like same thing that we have been discussing, and I'll keep my things simple here again. So here we have a class called calculator, some variables, one method that is called input, and another method that is called add. So it's simply calling the input that is asking for the numbers, and then adds up and display the result, right? Now, so to use this one, what we do is that we use an object. So dim, let's say ob as new for this calculator. All right. So this ob is an object of this one. So we call ob dot input, right? And then we call ob dot add. Finish. All right. So I want to pause the screen. So I will just write console dot read just to pause the screen. So so this was my this is a very simple program, right? Now let's say in this program I want to have another add. Okay, so can I have sub, let's say add. All right. Now the moment I do that, can you see the error coming up? All right. That's because what does it say? Naming rule violation. These words must begin. Not about naming. Multiple definition with identical signature. So you cannot have two methods. Maybe it's a sub procedure, maybe a function, but you cannot have two methods having exactly the same name and the same number of parameters. So look at this one, it does not take any parameter. Can you see that? Now this one also does not take parameter, not allowed, because that's the same signature we call it. All right. Now let's say this one, what I'll do is that I will have no1 as integer. So what I'm doing, I'm passing some arguments, right? Comma no2 as let's say integer. All right. Now is there any error? No. Why? But what is the name of this method? The name of this method is add. The name of this method is also add. But the difference between these two is that this one takes no argument, but this one takes two arguments. So now I can add them up and display the result. So let me just copy that. All right. So I will just copy and so this one is because they are the same type. All right. So now it gives me the result. Now see, there is no error. Now how do I call it? When you call ob.add, it is automatically going to call this one, the one without any argument. But next time if I call ob dot, now notice you have add, right? And the moment you say add, all right, now I'll just show you one thing. You see, this is 1 out of 2. Okay, this one you must have seen before also. So 1 out of 2 means, that means there is, this method has been overloaded in two different ways. One is that it takes no argument, and another is the moment I give 12, see, it takes that second one. Can you see that? All right, and I give this one. So now it will call the second one. So it will add up this 12 and 45, and then it is going to display that, right? So I run this. You can see that, right? So there, okay, this is for the first one, right? 12 and let's say 12, so that is 24. Then this is for the second one where we have passed the argument. Similarly, we can have another add. For example, I will just again, so now if I give another add, but this time again you have to change the signature. Maybe this one is let's say no3 as let's say again int. All right. So this one, now how many adds do I have? 3, right? But what are the difference between them? One takes no argument, one takes two arguments, another takes three arguments. So no1 plus no2 plus let's say no3, right? So if I want to call the third one, how will I call that? Ob dot add, and we have to pass. Can you see now 1 out of 3? So 1 comma let's say 5, some values, right? All right. So this is how you can pass. So you can have multiple, you are having multiple methods which are having same name but different signature. And when I call that again, for the first one, of course, we have to give an input. So there it is again, right? And then it gets, the second one is for the two argument, this is for the three argument, and it adds up. So this concept of having same name but different signature in a, when you have a methods which are having same name and different signature in a class, then these methods are called overloaded method. You must have seen this one in quite a some time. Like for example, if I give console, all right, console is a class, okay, dot, if I give for example write line, all right, and you must have seen that it says what, 1 out of 19. Have you seen this? Very often you must have seen it. That means this method has been overloaded in how many different ways? 19 different ways. just like our own method, that is add, has been overloaded in two different ways. So this is what is called a method overloading. So you can do the same thing with functions also. I have not used functions here, I have used procedures, but you can do the same thing with functions also. Thank you.